I'm about to address everybody who thinks that mindset has nothing to do with nutrition, or I mean, has nothing to do with nutrition and losing weight and being consistent. It has everything to do with it. It has everything to do with it. It is the main thing that you need to focus on, all right? Because when your mindset is screwed, when you've been, taught a bunch of stuff subconsciously, whatever habits your parents had growing up, you're gonna have a lot of those habits. Whatever you've seen around you, you're gonna have a lot of those habits. You've seen that quote that says you're the sum of the 5 people you hang around most. That shit is true. If everyone around you is super unhealthy, you're more likely to be unhealthy, right? Your mindset is going to be key, right? When you start looking at things differently, things are going to become easier. When you start looking at nutrition differently, working out differently, things will be easier. If you've always seen people in your family be super overweight, and then when there's a cruise coming up, they do like a detox or a 14-day keto or some shit like that, that's how you're going to think about dieting. Like, oh, eat whatever you want to, and then when you have a cruise and you want to lose 10 pounds, then just do a quick diet or something like that, right? That's the kind of mentality you're going to have. But when you really understand nutrition, right, making it a lifestyle and realizing that it's the primary prevention for a lot of conditions and diseases, you're going to start looking at it different. You're going to start acting different, right? Winner mindset is super important. Like I always say, you put a loser in a winner's position, they will find a way to lose. It doesn't matter how good the position is, all right? They'll find a way to lose. And you put a winner in a loser's position, they'll find a way to win. Look at Tom Brady. He was on the Patriots. He won all the Super Bowls. He went to Tampa. Now, Tampa was quote unquote stacked. They were not the best team they were top 10 rosters. They were top 10 rosters, right? But he changed everything. He literally, they gave him like full control of that shit. But he's a winner, so he found a way to win. He won the Super Bowl with Tampa, bro. With fucking Tampa, bro. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, bro. Come on, bro. How likely is it? Like, they were not going to win with any other quarterback. Even with Pat Mahomes, they wouldn't win, right? Unless Andy Reid went too. But even with Pat Mahomes, that Tampa team would not have won. It was Tom Brady's mindset, and it really spread throughout everybody. And that's the reason they won. Like, the thing is, when I have a client that gets results, right? You see my client results, right? When I take a client that gets results, my main objective, because I already know where they could be if they're consistent for 6 months. I already see where they could be. They're gonna have great results. They're gonna be surprised at that shit. But what I want them to do is I want to get into their minds, right, and change their mindset to realize that everything you're doing right now, all the inputs you're putting in right now, are gonna lead you to the results. So just focus on your inputs, because it's gonna happen, right? I want to give them that winner's mindset, because a lot of times they have self-sabotaging habits because they have a loser's mindset, right? They're used to losing. They don't think it's possible. They lack self-belief because of that. So increasing the self-belief, making them see like, hey, count your small wins, because they add up to big wins, right? Making them realize what the process actually looks like. Like Tom Brady, they look pretty bad, right? Like the Buccaneers looked average throughout the year, but they won the Super Bowl, right? Because he was slowly incorporating those good habits, the mindset needed, slowly incorporating winning culture, right? It doesn't just happen overnight. It takes time. So for a lot of my clients, they're like, okay, I'm trying to lose 40 pounds, right? Obviously, every time they step on the scale in the beginning, every time they do their weight size in the beginning, it's not going to be at their end goal yet, right? And a lot of people focus on it. They're like, well, I lost because I'm not at my end goal. I lost because my nutrition wasn't perfect. And in reality, it's like you're winning because your nutrition is better. You're winning because you're making progress towards your goal, and you're closer to your goal than you were yesterday. Like if you drop 2 pounds and 1 inch in the first week of working out, you are now 2 pounds and 1 inch closer to your goals. But a lot of people look at that as, oh, I'm not at my goals, right? That's the glass half empty, glass half full bullshit, right? That's exactly what people do. They look at the glass half empty and they're like, it's half empty. Nah, nigga, it's half full. If you keep adding up, it's gonna be full. But most people are like, it's half empty, might as well pour the rest out. Like that 0 to 100 mentality, that black pill mentality, that I give up mentality, that is the loser mindset. That is the victim mindset. But the winner mindset is like, listen, like I remember when I was working at the gym, right? And I became like, my first gym I worked at, I was garbage. Obviously, I got like no clients in person. Like they had to like hand me some clients. But then I switched over to working at 24-hour fitness, and I had a different mindset. I read some books, I gained some muscle, I had some confidence, right? So I remember I'm like, bro, if I could just sell 1 client by myself, bro, I can get 20. And that's what happened. I got 1 client. I was like, yo, that's listen, 1 is closer to 20 than 0 is. All right, if I could get 1, that means I could get 20. So I ended up getting like 20 clients, and I was like the top salesman at that gym after a while. But that's because of that mindset that I had. If I gave up, right? Because listen, I had 20 in-person clients, but after like a month of working there, but what people don't realize is how many people I actually approached. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not like the first 20 people I approached, I had, they were all like, oh yeah, let's sign up for training. No, it was like I approached as many people as possible a day, anywhere from 50 to 100. I was just there talking to everybody. Then eventually I got 20, because that's how it really works. It takes effort, it takes consistency in a certain direction, right? Like, here's the thing. If you're trying to go through a brick wall, right? A lot of you guys try to go around it, or you try to back up and like try to jump over, but it's a 1,000-foot brick wall. The only way to get through it is to keep hitting, eventually that brick wall is going to open. All right, eventually, man. Like eventually you're going to run through it. Like a lot of you guys, you don't understand the power of the compound effect. All right, like if you're trying to dig, okay, if there's gold beneath you, right? If there's gold beneath you, like 10 feet beneath you, a lot of you guys, if you're not told how much, like how far you have to dig, a lot of you guys will quit after like 6 feet or maybe after 7 feet, because you'll be like, well, this is deep enough and I don't see anything, and you just quit, right? Not believing that there's gold beneath you. Some people will be like, well, I'm just gonna dig a little bit every day. Eventually, this guy said there's gold down there. Eventually I have to see it, whether it takes 1 day or 100 days. Those are the people who are successful because they are in love with the process and they focus on what they can control. All right, so they'll just dig, and then after the 10th day, right, 10 feet under, they'll see the gold, right? But the other person will quit after they dig like 6-7 feet because they're like, well, I don't see it, it's not there, it must not be there. You got to keep going, y'all. A lot of you guys do the same shit with results. You're like, well, I want to look cut, I want to look this, I want to look that. It takes time. It takes rep after rep after rep. All right, if you're trying to get better biceps, right, you're trying to have your shoulders look cut, it's going to take reps, right? The person who's done 10,000 reps, the person who's hit their protein goal and their macros, 1,000 times is always going to look better than the person who's done 2 reps and who's done, hit their macros 2 days. This is how it works. It takes repetition. A lot of you guys just want that shit instantly. It's not going to happen. All right, you got to give it time. All right, and the winner's mindset is looking at everything in a positive direction, because like the loser mindset is always like, man, I can't get results, man. I've been trying for a month, I'm just gonna quit. Like, just keep going, bro, because worst case scenario, if you keep going, you're gonna see some kind of results, right? You're gonna see some kind of result, but you guys quit way too fucking early, right? The winner is like, I mean, after 1 month, I only lost 1 inch, but if I could lose 1 inch in a month, that means in 12 months, I'll lose 12 inches. That's how you gotta think, because all your results are gonna compound over time. No results come like really quickly. Like when you're trying to build a chest, you don't go from like doing 135 one day to doing 315 the next day, and you don't go from a small chest to a big chest in 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. It takes time. You're slowly building your chest. Like your chest grows like probably 1 millimeter at a time, right? It's not grown like, you're not just gonna grow 2 inches on your chest immediately. You see what I'm saying? You're not just gonna grow 2 inches on your arm overnight. Like this shit, it's like 0.1 millimeter a fucking day or some shit like that, and over time that adds up, right? People don't have that consistency, they don't have that vision, because they're always self-sabotaging and be like, I can't do this. If you don't think you can do something, you're right. If you think you can do something, you're also right. So a lot of times it's your own mindset holding you back, and you think it's all this other shit. It's you holding you back. It's always you holding you back.